Hey, what's going on, guys? Grant here. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the Facebook event, or I guess Meta event match quality score is and how you can increase your score. There's a little devil behind the scenes when you're running Facebook, when you're running Meta ads, and it dictates the performance of your ads. Doesn't really matter how good your creative or your copy or your targeting or your landing page or your offer is. If you don't have the sort of baseline, the technical fundamentals in place just for good data practices, then your ad campaign might get off the ground and it might get a couple sales or leads or whatever you're optimizing for, but it's never really going to be able to scale. And so if you're watching this video and you're just trying to get an ad campaign started, or you're trying to scale one into the tens, 20s, 30s, $100,000 per day type of situation at scale, this video is going to help you. And again, I oversee billions of data points, ad data points, and ads, and billions of ad spend at Cometly. It's a marketing analytics software. So I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff. We work with some of the biggest brands like ClickFunnels.com, Instantly AI, big companies that are doing this every single day inside of Cometly. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this means. So here's an example account. This is one of our Pixel accounts that we use for our own marketing, actually. And you can see the event match quality scores in our account: 9.3, 9.3, 9.0. Rule of thumb, no matter what you're using, whether it's your CRM's conversion API, whether it's a payment processor conversion API. I assume if you're watching this, you're using the conversions API to feed data to Facebook. If you're not, then find one of my other videos where I show you how to set that up, because your ads are going to suffer if you're just using the Meta Pixel. But I assume you're using the conversions API. I don't know which one you're using, obviously. I hope that whichever one you're using is getting you at least a score above an 8.5-ish. If you are not in an 8.5 to 9 range, then the conversion API is broken. Something's going on. And guys, don't really just assume that if you use your CRM like HubSpot, Go High Level, any of these other companies, just because you turn their conversion API on, don't expect it to actually function properly. A lot of the developers, a lot of the engineers at these companies sort of take a half-ass approach when it comes to implementing this type of tech. They just don't really see it as a big thing. But to us media buyers, to us advertisers, this is a huge, huge deal. So at Cometly, we have a major, major focus on this because we know data efficacy matters so much, right? We need to make sure that the data that's getting pumped into Facebook is highly, highly accurate, and it's really, really good data, because we know this is literally the building blocks behind our entire ad campaign. And again, and as I said at the beginning of the video, if you have the best creative, the best copy, the best everything, if your data is a mess, your ad campaign will never work. It will never be able to scale. It will fall apart, and it just won't work. So let's jump into this, because honestly, the event match quality score is the reason. It's basically like a health score for your ad campaigns. I should say really for your actual, like, the tech inside of your Meta ad account. So if we click in on one of our events, MQL, this is marketing qualified lead. This is pretty much like what we optimize for our ad campaigns at Cometly. And this is a 9.3 out of 10. Okay. So basically, let's start with first, what is the event match quality, right? And Facebook does a pretty good job of summing this up. Better event match quality means events are more likely to match to a Meta account, like literally a Facebook profile. Matched events help you attribute conversions to your ads and deliver them to people who are more likely to convert, which can result in better ad performance and, our favorite thing, lower cost per acquisition. How it's determined: we calculate a score out of 10 based on the quality of the customer information being sent from your server and the percentage of event instances matched to a Meta account. Okay. So guys, AKA, like, to sum it up, get this score as high as possible, and your ads are going to perform better, and you're going to have a better CPA. Okay. Just a fact. All right. And it's just because with like iOS 14 back in, a couple years ago, now with all the privacy blockers, like, Meta has a really hard time getting data, getting accurate data into it, that they're just basically it's like being in the desert and just needing needing water. Like they are so desperate for accurate data that they're now basically giving you a score saying like, hey, we're going to give you a score based on how well your data is coming in. So here's kind of what the data looks like, the customer information and the percent of sending. Again, whatever conversion API, whatever server-side tracking mechanism you are using to send data, you could literally like hack something together. You can use Zapier, you could use Cometly, but that's not what this video is about. But you can use something that pumps the data into Facebook, and realistically, I think the amount of parameters you can send over, it's like 13 or 14 total. And essentially, the biggest ones, they score these, right? So these are high priority. So email has to be sending email. Click ID, Facebook Click ID, FB CLID. Those are the two high priorities. Login ID, birthday, country, phone number. So if you're kind of looking at this, you're like, okay, cool. Like, how do I capture all this data and send it over? Well, that's kind of the hard part. And I'm not going to lie. Like, again, you can basically set up a conversion API in Zapier, and maybe I'll do another video on that. You can use a tool like Cometly or another ad tracking software, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to set it up on your own. Like, again, Cometly has this like baked in for you. We made it part of our product where you literally just click a button and then boom, it's set up and you're good to go, because this is a problem. This is a problem to set up. You can also use your CRM, right? So like if you're using Go High Level, HubSpot, Salesforce, I don't know, literally any CRM out there, most of them that I'm aware of, most of them will let you kind of turn a CAPI on, a conversion API on. But again, they are not like, a CRM system is not built to be like an advanced CAPI, an advanced conversion API. So that's the biggest problem you're going to run into when you're using like a payment processor conversion API or a CRM conversion API. They're just not built for that. And what I like to do is kind of give like a high level overview of like how this really works, which is, this diagram, right? Somebody clicks on an ad and they land on a website. And essentially, if you have a decent pixel, you could use the Meta Pixel, or if you're using like a third-party tracking software like Cometly or something else, we're going to capture all of this data automatically through our pixel, right? So IP address, user agent. Through IP address, we're going to be able to parse that out, get city, state, zip, country, obviously. And then we get a ton of other stuff, device fingerprint. And we're creating a user profile from this, okay? From that user profile, which is kind of anonymous at this point, right? They're just browsing the website. But then eventually they're going to get to an opt-in form. And Cometly does automatic form tracking. So when somebody puts in a name, email, phone, we have all this already without them opting in, right? IP, stuff like that. But then when they put in their information, our pixel captures that. So their name, email, phone. So now we have like 10 total parameters of this customer. So we build a customer profile, who the person is, what their email is, their phone number. And now we have like what ads they clicked, UTMs, Facebook Click ID, IP, user agent, device, all this type of stuff. Name, email, phone. And this is what it's talking about. Like, we're capturing all this data, we parse it out, we organize it. And then inside of Cometly, we're creating kind of these customer profiles, right? And again, this is something that like your CRM has some level of capability. CRMs are not built to be marketing attribution trackers, like, that type of thing. They're just built to store your customer data and allow you to email them and stuff. But we take this, we then send it through our CAPI back to Meta, and voila, 9.3 out of 10, better ad performance, all this type of stuff. So basically, if you are running ads right now and your ads are not performing and you don't know why, and you're like, I'm banging my head against the wall, I have good copy, I have good creative, I have good, conversion, conversion rate optimization methods on my landing page, and like everything's kind of dialed in, but yet every single time I launch an ad, I get maybe a lead or two, or I get a purchase or two, and then everything falls apart. it's probably because you're running into this kind of problem, okay? And you might not even know it exists. But again, what I would do is go into your events manager and I would take a look and see what the quality score is on your main optimization event, the event that you're optimizing for on your ads, okay? And again, if it is below a 9, you're probably running into a problem. You're probably running into an issue and you got to fix it, all right? That might mean moving to a different conversion API. That might mean sending them more data. And they'll ask you at the bottom, they'll say to you like, hey, we need more data. Like, of course, like on our page view event, where is it? On our page view event, 5.6 out of 10. Why? Because we're not getting any data on a page view other than, which is actually pretty good. 5.6 out of 10 on a page view event is pretty high. IP, UA, browser ID, zip code, country, city, state, Facebook click ID. That's about as much as much data you can get. See, the thing with Cometly, and like, I won't even say Cometly, like any kind of pixel tracker, you're going to be able to get the IP and then you parse that out to get the city, the zip, country, city, state. Whereas other, like for example, your CRM is going to want literally the user to punch this data in on a form, right? But nobody collects this data on a form, right? When you're asking your leads to opt in, you're not saying like, hey, you want this free guide? You want to attend the webinar? Opt in your name and email. Oh, and by the way, can we have your address too? Or, you know, your city, state, zip. Like nobody's doing that. That would massively bring down conversions. For e-commerce, like you are getting this data through a purchase because obviously you have to deliver the product. So that makes the purchase event pretty good. But again, people run into this issue all the time where if you're sending this data back, Facebook's going to have a pretty solid match score. 5.6 out of 10 on a page view is really good. But again, here's the example. We're not able to send back like name and email on page views because we don't have that. Now, I think though, where is it? They usually will say like, hey, send us more data. We want name, we want email. Let me see if it's on here. See, like when this event's not fully configured, when stuff's not firing correctly, it says increase coverage. Here it is. Hey, please send us these, right? We want this and we want this. This will increase by this 12%. This will give it a 9% increase in match quality. So barely a point. But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it. This video's gone longer than I wanted to, but I did want to break this down for you guys because it is just something that we see every single day working with people where it's like, your ads work. They're fine. Your funnel's fine. The offer's fine. Everything's great. You have a data problem. So this is what you need to do to fix it. So let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment down below if you guys have a good match quality. Let me know what your match quality score is. By the way, guys, if you like this type of video, you like this type of training, we do have a free community. Literally, it's free. There's to enter the community, you punch in your email so we can send you the link to join. And it's called Data Driven Ads. And what we do is we basically dive through just analytics in general. So if you are like an analytical type thinker and you like to look at numbers and data, media buy in that type of way, go ahead and join the community. We talk about different types of ad stuff. And yeah, it'd be cool to have you. So also I'll throw away a free trial link in the description for Cometly in case you want to give Cometly a go. Again, it's pretty badass. You can just literally click one button and everything I talked about in this video is done for you. So it's cool. And it's free too. Free trial. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.